Right now, your house is operating as a massive thermal trap, sealing a suffocating pocket of humid heat directly inside your living space. Most people make the fatal mistake of using the exact same cooling routine all day long, but you are about to discover that true temperature control requires two completely opposite operational modes. Over the next 8 minutes, we are unlocking the exact fluid mechanics needed to protect your body during the baking afternoon, and how to instantly switch your setup to turn your entire home into a high-velocity exhaust engine at night. Pay attention.
Hey everyone, Milo here. Today on Milo Explains, we are bypassing corporate marketing to run a diagnostic on your home's air dynamics. Forget buying a bigger, louder machine. True cooling isn't a brute force power struggle, it's pure fluid efficiency.
Every single summer day, you execute the exact same routine. When the heat inside your home becomes suffocating, you drag a fan to an open window to haul the breeze inside. You think you are cooling the room down. But modern fluid dynamics prove an uncomfortable truth. You are doing it completely wrong during the most critical hours of the day. In fact, with that placement, you are actively fighting air velocity, trapping humid heat inside your walls, and skyrocketing your utility bill for zero return. Big corporations spend millions advertising humming air conditioners, convincing you that a massive electric grid connection is the only solution to a brutal summer. It is a highly profitable system built on keeping you blind to how air actually moves. Today, we are breaking into the physics of natural airflow, backed by clean data tracked through digital anemometers. If you understand the two completely different operational modes of your fan and change just one highly counterintuitive thing tonight, you will double the air exchange through your entire house without spending a single extra cent. Let's look at the data. Before we touch any hardware, we have to eliminate the single most fatal misconception about summer cooling. You need to ask yourself one foundational question. What exactly are you trying to cool right now? Yourself or the house? Imagine outside temperatures peak, while your interior spaces manage to hold at a slightly lower equilibrium. In this exact scenario, cracking that window open is the most destructive choice you can make. Operating a window-mounted fan during the peak solar maximum of the day doesn't help you. It turns you into an unintended logistics coordinator for the heat wave, actively drafting high-energy ambient air directly inside. A fan possesses no internal refrigeration coils or cooling agents to lower air temperatures. When your sole objective is maintaining personal comfort through a sweltering afternoon, keep the structural perimeter tightly sealed. Direct the fan's output exclusively onto your body. The fundamental physics here rely on biology. The concentrated current facilitates rapid moisture evaporation from your skin surface. This phase change extracts heat energy from your body, dropping your perceived microclimate temperature instantly. That is your primary defense strategy for the daytime hours. The entire game shifts radically the second the sun drops below the horizon. Outside, the ambient air plummets to a crisp 65 degrees Fahrenheit, while the day's heavy heat remains trapped inside your drywall and concrete at 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, and exclusively now, is the window's time to shine. Your objective has completely flipped. You are no longer trying to cool your skin. You are trying to evacuate tons of trapped thermal mass from your living space. But if you just let the fan blow blindly into the room, you still lose.
Stop right there, because we are about to transition from simple surface evaporation to total structural evacuation. The daytime rules are officially dead. Let's look at the next data set to see how you turn your entire living space into a high-velocity vacuum.
The amateur crowd sets the fan in the window frame and lets the cool night air blast directly inward. Mathematically, this is amateur hour. A house is a closed container. To cool it down, you cannot just stir the heavy, stagnant air already trapped inside. You must forcefully evacuate it. The data is clear. Turn the fan around. Set it to blow the hot interior air out the window, not in. When the fan operates as an exhaust engine, it creates an instantaneous drop in internal barometric pressure. The fan forces the trapped, heated atmosphere out, generating a localized vacuum. To equalize this pressure deficit, The cool, dense night air is automatically sucked deep into your rooms through every other open window on the shaded side of the building. You have transformed your entire house into a living, breathing lung. The next catastrophic mistake happens immediately after. The fan is pressed flat against the window screen. Airspeed testing reveals an instant, massive step down in aerodynamic velocity the moment the housing hits the mesh. Because of vortex dynamics at the peripheral edges of the spinning blades, a fan actually sucks air backward from its front face at the exact same time. When jammed against a screen, it enters a closed aerodynamic feedback loop, sucking the hot air it just expelled right back in around its own frame, effectively fighting itself. The solution? Pull the fan back exactly 2 feet, 60 centimeters, into the room. When you back it off to this precise sweet spot, you launch a highly concentrated, high-velocity jet of air directly through the opening. According to fluid mechanics, a gas moving at high speed experiences a significant drop in static pressure relative to the resting, stationary air around it. This pressure deficit acts like an invisible siphon. The surrounding, stagnant room air is violently dragged into the fast-moving column. Your fan is no longer just moving its own mechanical capacity out the window. It is multiplying its exhaust potential by converting raw velocity into volumetric mass, pulling the entire room's atmosphere along for the ride. Your home is constructed of dense physical materials, concrete, wood, and insulation. These materials act as a giant thermal battery, absorbing and holding temperature like a hot stone next to a campfire. If you leave your home wide open during the day, you charge that battery with 95 degrees Fahrenheit of energy. When you turn on your fans at night, you wonder why it still feels like an oven. It's because your walls are continuously radiating that stored heat back into your face. The ironclad law of thermodynamics is simple. Cool by night, seal by day. Use the fan exhaust vacuum during the deep, crisp hours before dawn to thoroughly drain the thermal energy out of your floors and walls. The exact second the sun rises, seal the house tight and drop the shades on the sunny side. Your pre-cooled walls will act as a natural refrigerator all afternoon while the world bakes outside. These hidden laws of fluid dynamics prove you do not need to be a passive consumer dependent on a humming machine and an exploding utility bill. You can control your entire environment using your own hands, a clear understanding of atmospheric pressure, and the natural laws of thermodynamics. True intelligence is about knowing how the system works so perfectly that a small, simple desk fan, strategically deployed on the evening frequency, completely outperforms a giant, expensive setup forced to fight the physics of the room.